And the stands are starting to fill up. I have to say, the weather yesterday was very nice, Liam, but we didn't get too many people taking seats in the ULTI.TV arena. But of course, now that we're in elimination play, the schedule loosens up a bit, and obviously people want to watch and support their teammates doing well.
Solaris starting off well. Now the deep shot comes. Oh, and a hero layout. Can't come down with the disc though.
Yeah, a swing and a miss for Kamil Osiecki, but it was very close. A nice idea, trying to hit that soft side, but just a bit too much boost with the wind pushing it directly away from the athlete, chasing it down.
And that was our first turnover of the game. Almost had one earlier that came back on a call. So this, the first break opportunity, goes to Murciélagos. Let's see what they can do with it now. And they send it deep straight away. That is a big old body biscuit, and just too far in the end. Looks like I might have tripped up Jordan Ferris.
Well, and to those of you watching live, thank you for your patience and for getting in the chats and telling us that we needed to hit a few more buttons. We will re-upload though, of course, for those of you on demand to watch every moment of this match. Great to have you alongside us on YouTube. Tell us who you're supporting.
So the O-line have it back now. Will they holster the hook this time? It's with Osiecki. Hits that beautiful inside shot. Plenty of space for it as well for Paris. Casper goes cross field. Being forced backhand in this possession. Some nice give-go off and some classic beach continuation, and smooth and silky as you like it. Beautiful goal from the poles. And that is Paris with the finishing touches.
Yeah, second stat on the board. Part of the infamously named Girls Stay Home, which was one of the most confusing situations with the team name we've seen in a little while, because of course it's not a transliteration. It's more of a if you were to use the British English translation, it would be lads holiday, i.e. my partner stayed at home so I could be here having fun. But caused a little bit of a situation, I think. By the way, a Polish champion in his own right is Paris, and having a great day at the office this fine, sunny Thursday morning.
And no breaks so far. Just only one break opportunity in the game. And working hard is Santiago Ramos. He's been all over the field already. Oscar Romero. There's Chapman running, give go Ramos, and a beautiful answer back. This has been some exquisite beach ultimate offense, rarely holding to this for more than a second. Just players expecting the continuation pass down the field, moving, flowing in motion. Brilliant offense.
Well, you can really tell how much more Murciélagos train together as a team on sand. It is that flow, that movement and connection. They're happy to squeeze it down the sideline, and still Chapman just playing their anchor. And I mean, Santiago Ramos is just a bit of a cheat code, especially today. He's just playing a vital cog role in the flow towards the end zone, and more often than not has been on the end of the scoring pass. A big shout out to Chapman's dogs Mercy and Sky, by the way, who I'm sure will be watching this live stream. We love a bit of doggo cam, and one of the great features about being here in Portimão, Liam, is the fact that you have the boardwalk behind the pitches, so many people just walking their dogs, going for a run, have been able to watch a little bit of beach ultimate.
Oscar Delgado Fumero with the goal in the end. And another brick pull.
Yeah, gift for sure. Bricks on a beach surface are very valuable. You basically start with almost only half the pitch left to go.
And looking to isolate Pogdeni. Now the crossfield shot. Again, both teams finding offense very easy at times. And again, that inside backhand has been an absolute weapon for the Solaris side. They've been using it to great effect. We'll see what adjustments Murciélagos will make.
Well, I don't think it needs to be too much in terms of adjustment. I mean, so many of those passes look significantly less comfortable than Murciélagos' offense. I mean, I like the idea of isolating Pogdeni, but it was Kosmalski in the end zone under lots of pressure. Both of those passes before the goal had laying out bidding defenders about 1.5 inches away from getting a block. So it seems like Murciélagos know what Solaris want to do. They're just executing at a very high level, so it still makes it through the bids regardless. But that may change over the course of the game. We haven't had any breaks yet, but still plenty to go. Of course, maximum score cap of 13 here in Portimão.
And who else but Santi Ramos to get things moving. That dangerous floaty backhand. Oh, tries to box out, but there was a second defender coming in. Oh, the hero grab. Sensational play. Thought he had got the block, but yet again coming down with it. Oscar Delgado Fumero boxed one and managed to throw himself into the air like a flying squirrel.
Oh, Liam, that was absolutely scandalous. Just managing to kind of keep the claws of his toes in the sand to remain upright. Delgado Fumero, wow. I mean, obviously getting reps for the Spanish beach mixed team, which of course had a great campaign last year in LA. But look at that, just managing to keep a head run. But credit as well to the defender trailing. But that is why we say catch your D's.
That was incredible defensive play as well. He actually did get a tiny tip on it, but able to make the adjustment. Oscar Fumero, he'll be delighted with himself.
And rightly so. That deserves a serious pat on the back. That might well end up being the play of the day, Liam.
Very well could be. So it's just going to be so hard to get breaks in this game as both teams tear off towards the end zone with great speed, and that again, sensational. Any player barely holding it on for a second, but Kosmalski holds on to that one in the end zone and gives the big bump celebration. He's enjoying himself out there.
And that was definitely a more comfortable offensive hold for Solaris. Super duper quick, making the disc do the work with an absolute diamond of a throw. Just, I mean, laying out is not an easy thing to do, as you have the perfect decal for the back of the end zone, of course, layout gloves. But on beach, it is a bit easier. You do have a much softer surface to land on, but it is difficult. It's high level of difficulty on the push off to make sure you do get that proper reach, but making that look very rudimentary indeed, our Solaris. So everything's still on serve, Liam. Who would you reckon is going to get the first break?
I don't know. I guess Murciélagos have had the one break opportunity. That's the only thing you can really differentiate these teams at the moment. So the game favoring Solaris at the moment, that's just because they started on offense. There's been no breaks at all. That was almost a Callahan though, and a foul called from Chapman. They're gonna have a great perspective on our big screen, more than likely in a few seconds time there. We have a big jumbotron in the back of that end zone.
Yeah, surprisingly not that many players have turned to use it. Just showing how it's not always needed for these discussions.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes players don't want to see us off.
No, I wish to be in the dark about this.
Yeah,
but there is no.
I prefer how I remember it as opposed to the visuals on it.
It's true. We have seen some players look at replays and kind of ignore the heck out of them. But I mean, there is no such thing as objective truth, right?
And looks like that one is contested. You hear shouts of Callahan from the Solaris sideline. Blunder again is Santi Ramos, who likes to just put in those hard cuts and then dump it back. Let the handlers handle and cutters cut. Juan Martinez doing the same. Very far away now, this stack, but grinding out the under and having to lay out underneath to keep possession of that. A lot of pressure coming from Solaris on this point. Chapman leads one out to the break side. Very flat forces as well from Solaris. Well, Chapman moving the mark around. Ramos finding some space now. Wants the reset. Alex Garcia having to do that behind cut to rescue Ramos. Very patient again from the Murciélagos side. They do not cough it up easy. Looks like the break continuation is there and it bounces out of the hands. And that is the first break opportunity now going to Solaris. Looks like brilliant offense, a hard grind, and just bounced out of the hands in the end.
Yeah, that moment of focus, just a bad miss, man. That's going to be one that you're going to want to have back. I mean, you know, we have seen recovered points so far.
Starting off this one with a sensational hammer. No fear at all from this Solaris D-line. Now they shot to the end zone as well, and that is money, and that is a break for the Polish side. Kasper Krasucki gets it for Solaris, and they storm the field in celebration.
Oh, Cappy making us happy in the end zone. And, well, I mean, a trade out of this game, plain and simple, Liam, would have been Solaris taking the win through to the round of 16 because, of course, they started on offense. But that one, perfect conversion as well, just 3 passes. And I love that swagger starting us off with the overhead throw.
Cappy Krasucki, the policeman marshalling the end zone there, and definitely has some guns.
I'm trying to think in Poland if all of their PCs are packing heat. Some places are. I mean, some of the I have to say, some of the European uniforms for police forces are absolutely exquisite. A little tight, perhaps, for chasing people down, but nice, loose jerseys for this Solaris side. All of them the sleeveless ones, which make the numbers a little bit harder for us to read, but it's a great look. And that sun in the center section.
Chapman sent it to Garcia, who looks for an inside throw and stares blankly at his own hand, as in that's not what you were supposed to do.
Whoops.
So another opportunity to break again. This would be for a half. Big moment of the game. Solaris get that high release backhand off. Again, their D-line offense looks sensational as well. Duel sporting a nickelback kind of look.
It's very 90s.
As you see him attack the front corner, and he does it. The rock star gets his goal in the end zone. Marshall Duel with a brilliant break for Solaris as they take half.
Well, that was quite the event. Solaris managing to really get in the heads of Murciélagos. I mean, Chapman is someone with so much experience, so much pedigree on sand, and to just flub the pass, throw it into the sand, open receiver, not too higher difficulty rating on that inside break shot, but look at this for nice smooth offense on the break side for Solaris. A drop costs the half, and the Poles take advantage.
Correct me if I'm wrong, it was Duel that caught that greatest that was famed. I think he was the receiving end of that greatest to layout catch.
I don't think you're wrong, but we can always review the tape.
And as the teams take a break, so will we at the half. Solaris up 7-4 on Murciélagos. Welcome back to the World Beach Ultimate Club Championships here in the Open Division. Solaris have broken twice to take half, as it was a very clean game to start, very few break opportunities, but Solaris have done it and sensationally well at the latter stage of that first half. So Murciélagos have a bit of a hill to climb here.
They do have Casayetes on the sidelines though to give them that extra bit of support. Let's see what they can do.
Chapman looks off the deep shot in the back of their own end zone now, and that launches a beautiful flick to Ramos, who turns on the jet boosters to run that one down. The continuation is there, and that is brilliant from Fran, following up that further goal and being pinned back in your end zone. Fearless, feathery flick to stretch the whole field, and just what they needed coming out into the second half, Murciélagos.
I've just had a realization, Liam, as to why I struggled to find Ramos in terms of that EBUCC. But of course, he played for Guayota there, not Murciélagos, and got that win in both the divisions last time out on the sand in Royan. We had Guayota Women, Guayota Open. Of course, they're in the mixed division. Here is their creme de la creme. So Ramos not making that roster. I think maybe not residing in the Canary Islands at the moment, but he's just a flipping cheat code, isn't he?
Yeah, I think everyone on this roster lives in Valencia, as far as I'm aware, apart from Jordan Ferris, who I think did live in Valencia for some time, currently living in Montreal. So really a pure Valencia roster here, and they've been doing themselves proud on the sand. Deep shot is there, but holstered this time by Doblanovsky. Playing with three-handers at the moment, but brilliant upline drive. Solaris again like to play that quick ticky-tacky offense and attacking that break side, as they've done so well. They can allow the continuation of flow, which leaves that big channel open for the break side, and Paris is there. Brilliant throw, brilliant use of the break side, and Solaris, you know, said that they're integrating some new players into the side, and they've grown as the tournament's gone on. They've looked better and better.
Although it has been a lot of love on the O-line for Koszmowski and Paris. I mean, that's the third stat for Koszmowski. This time it's an assist rather than a goal, and 4 stats in total. Level on each side is Monsieur Paris. But certainly a very strong performance thus far from the Poles, and they've got a lot of love in the live chat as well, lots of excitement. And there were 3 Murciélagos players with Guayota Open, but they were just pickups at EBUCC in Royan. Thank you for the extra facts.
Ramos, as we see Jose Novak getting involved on the O-line now. Again, Solaris end zone defense has been good at times, slowed them down, but not stopping them as they punch it in. Alex Garcia with the goal.
Well, it is lovely to see the trust still remaining firm in the Murciélagos side. That was especially juicy, that little kind of trust pass for the reset for Chapman. A lesser player would have thought, man, not quite the separation, but if you can put the disc on the right side of things when you get a bit of a face mark action, Joe Cole, why not? But the wind's starting to rise now. It is a crosswind near to far side, as our field view has it. Slight tilt right to left and then left to right again. Changeable conditions out here on the beach.
Chapman gets his second assist of the game and has been anchoring the offense here at times. Had a chat with him before the game. Lovely man. Dubanovsky, the maestro of this offense, throws that leading eye-hole flick into space. The left-handed player has all the tools, all the throws, and just looking easy at times for Solaris.
That throw, Liam, was an absolute thing of beauty. You don't really need incredible cuts when you have throwers just like that, especially the lefty. That little bit of difference when you have to mark someone that's left-handed. Of course, the majority of the throwing population are right-handed. We've got a couple of ambidextrous folks on as well, though. Just looks at that little chisel sliver of inside and executes to dominating effect. So Solaris holding on to their 3-point lead. And deservedly so, Liam. They looked very shaky at the beginning of the game, really had to grind out their offensive holds, but they've taken every opportunity they've been given.
Filip Dubanovsky would have been part of that Polish World Games roster going back a few years.
Well, yeah, about 7 years, I think.
Certainly when you play those Polish sides, a couple of left-handed players that you almost have to make adjustments on defense entirely for them. Garcia. And they send another one to Ramos, who's been so reliable, and he does it yet again. Helps his opposite man up and celebrates with his teammates. You can see he's pumped up.
You could almost say just use more of Ramos, but you don't really need to. He is pretty much one of the main go-to targets. I love just watching Santi set up that cut, sort of like a weird stutter step, trying to throw his mark away. But he just has pure straight line speed as well. All he needs is that little shuffle of the center of gravity from his opponent, the person tasked with that matchup. Of course, a very difficult job. That does look to be Krzyznicki. Or Krzyznicki. But a hold for Murciélagos, but they're going to have to do something different. Maybe run some crossover lines, Liam, because they're starting to run out of time to try and take this game away. And it is elimination time. This is the round of 32 crossovers. Whoever loses this one is knocked out of the top 16. How is this the quality of a round of 32 game? Crazy. That's what you get at Worlds.
It's just the level of this, and you know, as the weather changes, it becomes maybe tighter games at times. There's going to be a lot of close ones in this bracket play. As we see Ramos crossing over to D-line now. So they are crossing over at least one player anyway. You feel like Santi Ramos is keen to make a big play here.
It's an accepted foul on the throat.
Quite flat forces here for Murciélagos, kind of forcing backhand, which they've been doing a lot. That one low to the ground, but kept alive. This is better now for Murciélagos. They've managed to at least slow down Solaris, and out is called, and it looked like he buried his foot underneath the line.
Which is what you need to do. Being in contact with the tape is not out of bounds, much unlike every other surface we play on, where on the line is out.
If you do this, that's okay. Yeah, I did that. No, you did this. That's out. Did you say? Okay. For me.
Well, he definitely moved the line.
Well, contest it, so send it back. Of course, a bit difficult for us with obviously not trying to confuse you with our camera views all on this side to get that angle properly.
It definitely was a close one, so back to Casper, who resets it. Now, again, working that break side channel, foul called. You see, as the game goes on, you maybe see a little more calls creeping into it.
Yeah, Maltese getting smacked straight in the mouth, which is totally fine on the follow through, but it looks to be when it was sort of faking before that. It's not, wow, I say perfectly fine. It's within the rules. If you hit someone after the follow through from your throat, that isn't a foul on the defender. But it's still to be avoided.
Again, getting some momentum now. Dobanovsky works the up line channel. That a dangerous inside throw, which two people go flying, but neither come down with the disc.
Yeah, great bid from Paris. That one, I think he was expecting it to get there, but great pressure. Delgado Fumero just closing the field of vision more than anything else.
It was like a synchronized dive there, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe they should go for that as their kind of, off-season sport.
I think this is just Murciélagos' second break opportunity.
Certainly is, Liam.
They threw it away very early last time, and they're going to send it deep. They have the position, and looks like a goal. Thinks about calling the foul, but I think both Murciélagos players are going for it, and they end up being blocked by one of them. But as long as they're making a bid on the disc, and that is a break as they're eating up the sand here, dishing it out.
Fantastic synchronization on the celebration there, and this is what we expect to see from Murciélagos. It is crunch time on the sand, Liam, so why not nosh some bits of dust? Yet another look at that one. There is a stumble, but everyone's sort of craning their necks to track that one down directly over their heads. I think everyone was sufficiently avoiding contact.
Felt like a bit of an NFL block at times, but as long as you're making a play in the disc, and it did look like the Murciélagos players, both of them were trying to both box out, both going for it. You can see the Solaris player was debating internally in his mind whether to call a foul there, but realized that they had position, he was behind them, and they held their ground well. So breaking back, that's one break. They're going to need two more if they're going to win this game. But you see when they did crossover players, particularly Ramos, added a bit more pressure to Solaris, who were flying down the field with ease there.
Well, it's something to do, because when you see someone on an O-line that has done an absolute phenomenal job, especially going deep to get a little cheeky look at the BULA king and queen over there, it just adds that extra pressure. You're not going to launch it deep. That was way more conservative from Solaris as a result of those crossover players.
Yeah, shout out to Patrick and Sophia, our tournament directors, and they've been putting on great tournaments all over the world for a long time. When you go to any of their tournaments, it's going to be fun. That's the first thing everyone's going to have a good time. They focus on that. Yes, we want good competition. Yes, we want to win, but they understand everyone's having a bit of a holiday. They want us to have a good time. And
one of the things that actually is also very impressive, because especially for nations coming out of more central parts of Europe rather than the West, where you know, the cost of tournaments is a real factor in feature in terms of nations being able to send teams, whether it's national or club sides. And one of the things that Patrick and Sophia do really well is actually keeping the player costs and the team fees really very reasonable. Coming and playing Worlds here in Portimão, I mean, it helps obviously the beautiful Algarve region, a tourist area, lots of great accommodation options for you to choose from. But I think it's €130 a player for a week-long event. Now that is...
Yeah, no, if you compare it to some of the other World Championships that have happened over the last few years, that is a stark contrast.
And we're getting every bit of our money's worth in this game, Liam.
And Ramos is back out there for the Murciélagos as a beautiful inside shot opens up the field, and that has been their weapon of choice, Solaris, that inside backhand. Dobanovsky goes cross field. That is an inch perfect throw, pumps his fist in the air. The answer back with a great goal.
And you could see that one developing. There was a switch off downfield as we get a little look at the Solaris Penguin. It's in the stands. Exciting to see it. But yeah, a switch off from the defenders. Didn't quite have the right kind of speed on the reactions from the off player, which is why Gaviria is not quite in the right place to put the pressure on. Great spot from Solaris, though, to identify that opportunity on the break side and exploit it to great effect. So Murciélagos are going to have to go out again with another power D line, but first they've got to punch in the offense. And Santi Ramos is going to get every single point, I think, for the rest of this game, Liam, with just under 5 minutes remaining.
Another great goal from Kosmowski. He's been everywhere in this game. You can see Murciélagos forcing them backhand, knowing that Filip Dobanovsky is a left-handed player, but I think he favors that high-release left-handed blade. I think that blade flick is what he really favors. That's his go-to throw that he's been famed for. So the clock ticking away here, just a few more minutes until cap. Blading backhand pull goes through the hands of Chapman as a roll, so he'll take a longer feeling. That one completely blown coverage there on Ramos, who didn't have to work as hard as usual to get free on that occasion. Slow for the continuation cuts, but there comes in the end from Delgado. Oh, an incredible layout block, getting horizontal. Sensational play.
Yeah, massive step up from Novak just when they need it.
And they look to punch it in, and they go over the top and pull one down from the top shelf. What a sequence of events for Solaris. Turning it up the gears now. That was incredible sequence. Sensational block followed by that big sky.
Yeah, it's a shame for Ramos. There was a moment where he really took off and had huge separation downfield, I think about 2 or 3 meters. But the timing on the handler movement wasn't quite there. They didn't have it in the same fashion that he thought it was about to come. But a fantastic block from Novak, coming in and just denying it and using the height mismatch as well. Jakub Kaczmarek, we've seen him do damage on grass before, but a great grab over the head of this slightly smaller Garcia Roig. But hats off to Solaris. They are really here to play. They've taken charge of this game early stages and now just need to cruise through. 2 more points left, and this one's in the bag.
Stepping up when it matters most. This Solaris side looking good here in the sun. As Duel gets ready with the big backhand pull. And leaves this one this time as it sails out the back. Chapman able to get it from the brick mark.
You have to think, Liam, if well, whichever of these teams gets knocked out at this stage is pretty solid shoe-in for 17th place, certainly. I mean, Murciélagos had their first loss of the tournament to Frisbee Basel, who had an absolute blaze, really surprised us in the commentary side. But they've only lost to the best of the best.
And we've seen Ferris coming over onto the O-line now, and Ramos taking a break. He's played a lot of points. Juan Martinez dumps it back. And definitely a few D-line players out here is maybe thinking they might need to give their O-line a break or even rest them to try and put them on the D-line. They're going to have to break quite a lot to win this game, but it's about converting this O point first. Chapman. Edmundo Murcia getting involved now on the offense. Attacking that break side. And there's a beautiful shot to surely secure the goal.
Yeah, Bianchini there identifies the target. A little bit low on the throw, but the 31-year-old does it. Material scientist by trade. Actually has had quite an interesting playing experience as Bianchini, as we get another look at his assist there in that number 99. He has played for teams all over the place, including a team in Warsaw. So he maybe has a little bit of inside track on this Polish side, but started his playing career in Italy, which Bianchini, I mean, there's a clue in the name there, it's a very Italian sounding family name, but Milan, Marseille, Warsaw and Barcelona. Now, of course, residing in Valencia. Real international player. But now the campaign must start surely if Murciélagos are going to grind it back.
Now it's Solaris back on offense. Dobanowski keeping the flow going. Ozeki drives it down line, and again always looking to attack that inside break channel.
Well, fantastic handler shut down with the person defense, just about squeezing it in the far sideline. We're going to get another discussion with Santi though as to whether that one was inbounds or a foot under the tape to start with.
They've been burying their feet a couple of times, the Solaris side. Ozeki this time not going to be debated for too long. Matching up as Ramos gets a nice leading inside pass, which creates the continuation channel, and they punch it in. Paris, who's been a goal scoring machine.
Well, match point 1 of 4 in front of us. Solaris just inches away from getting themselves into the top 16 beach teams in the world, which is no mean feat. It's interesting with the defensive strategy on that point for Murciélagos, because you have Ramos just kind of sitting in the deep space to initiate the point, but as soon as he gets tempted under, it really does open up those leading passes for gains for Solaris. I feel like maybe you just need to commit to the bit a little bit longer, have someone on the underneath side playing the counterpart to that Ramos poach, keep the big man dissuading those big throws. But it has changed the nature of Solaris's offense. We are seeing far fewer of those big stretching hucks that we saw in the opening stages of the game. They just have to find another defensive adjustment to Murciélagos. But first off, you've got to punch in this first hold.
So if Solaris was to break now, they would win the game. So backs against the wall for the Murciélagos. Chapman. Pressure coming on every cut. Marco Bianchini gets a little more contact than he would have wanted. A man originally from Italy. Chapman delegating where he wants these cuts, and that one bounced out of the hands, and looks like there will be a break opportunity to win the game for Solaris. And they look to get things moving. This could be game, and that is a wild swing cut. And a lifeline for the Murciélagos. Chapman not happy with what he's seeing downfield. Has to go for the reset yet again. Again, layouts coming all over the shop from the Solaris side. They're adding the pressure. Chapman unfazed. Luboa. And there's a shot. Slices between the two Solaris defenders who cannot keep up with the big man, and they hang on in there.
Well, Juan Percier just about holding on to that one. Started playing back in Madrid. He's represented Spain in the Open Masters division. And of course took that 6th place with Murciélagos back in the EBUCC 2022. He was the top scorer that year, but not hitting the top of the stats board in this game. He's had a relatively quiet one. That's just his first goal. 1 turnover. Well, now the defensive campaign really does have to start. And we are indeed seeing Santi Ramos coming out on the field.
Trying to rally his soldiers into this battle. Ramos puts up a high arcing backhand pull. Oh, and a dangerous pass from Dominovsky. Not sure what he was intending there. Threw it into the mark. And that was a shocking turnover from Solaris in the final moments. Had a possession to win it, but now Murciélagos, oh, and he gets it back. Dominovsky goes absolutely launching into the skies here.
Well, the gift given back. What a shame, because that would have made this game very exciting to have that fast break, a little bit of momentum for Murciélagos.
And they're gonna go coast to coast here, Solaris. This one just shy of the end zone. Who's backing up the play? He leads one out into space. Oh, and what a sensational catch to win the game. Magnificent, and he goes for a little celebration as well. Oziki, that one was hotly contested, but Solaris get the win. They've been the better team, just about. Murciélagos fought hard, but played some great, sensational beach offense, but just not enough to stop this magnificent Polish side.
Well, you saw Josue Gaviria just like pounding the sand in frustration after that one. I think, honestly, for me, Liam, that was just about the last drop of mental fortitude dribbling out of Murciélagos when they didn't convert that absolute gift on their goal line. Just couldn't punch it in, couldn't find an option, and nobody was anywhere near that giant huck that took it all the way to the tape. Easy money. Congratulations, Solaris. That was one heck of a game, but Murciélagos being knocked out at this stage in the championship, Liam, now that is crazy time.
As we look at the clean holes there, 8 apiece, which is impressive from both sides. I think as we've seen better weather conditions and we get into the later stages of this tournament, you're going to get a lot of teams that are getting those clean holes. That's what it's going to take, you know, just a few break chances apiece.
I think those numbers are a little bit miscalculated. There were definitely more chances for both sides. But what a clean opener we had. I mean, there are a lot of clean holds on the board for both sides. So congratulations, Solaris. Commiserations, Murciélagos. I'm sure they will be right at the top of that sort of middle section, fighting now for 17th place. But Solaris make it through, and I'm excited to see what they do next, Liam.
It looks like we're going to go to our end of game interview as we check who we've got, and we're going to throw down to Steph Rapazzo for the end of game interview.
Here with Mateusz Kozmalski, big win on the sands here. You guys have not had the easiest path to get here before this game. Talk about how you got even to here.
Hello, at first sorry for my English. I'm not used to being interviewed. Yeah, as you said, we had a really tough group stage. We had 2 wins, 1 loss, and we had the worst goal differences in our three-way ties, so we went to lower pool. Yeah, and we were sad, really. And from then we start thinking that now we have to prove that it's not our place in lower pool, and we have to win everything to get to playoffs. Yeah.
So you've had the tougher road to get back up top. You get into your first elimination game, probably your best game yet. What was working for Solaris today that made you so good in this game?
I think our yesterday team meeting, our captain made us think just about this game today and yesterday evening. We had every morning this day. We were very focused on our every aspect of the game, meal, warm up, focus, everything, and it worked out.
It certainly did. I hope it'll work out for you again as you continue. You're moving on. Congratulations. All the best.
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations to Solaris on the big win. They took the scenic route to get into this bracket play, but have turned up when it matters most.
Indeed, and we are getting a lot of results rolling in as to who will be forming the top 16 in the open division. Make sure you get to live.wbucc.org to check out all those results. But what a thrill we had, Solaris. I think that preparation really did show, Liam. From the very beginning, both teams were so clean, but their defensive adjustments were the biggest part for me.
A very clean game overall. We saw the first few points. It was up until 5-4 was when we got our first break opportunity, and there was 2 breaks before the half, which really, I think, sealed the game for Solaris. They were clinical all game long. We got lots of great highlights as the Polish players threw themselves around like a big sack of spuds. The Murciélagos, after having that very close game against Salispils, found themselves knocked out. You know, would have been one of the favorites to make it into the next round of the bracket play. Santi Ramos fought really hard, but in the end, Solaris just too good. The Polish keep on fighting here in the open division as they win 13-10 over Murciélagos.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.
It's hard to do and it hurts to say, but if you love something, let it go. Tomorrow comes, it's another day. So if you love something, let it go. No, I don't mind you asking why I let it go. It's just way too much for my hobby, so I'm laying low. Yes, I could rethink what I'm thinking if I had control, but I don't, so don't you be asking why I love you so. Your love ain't free, it's killing me. I want it to end all, 'cause I've been trying, I've been waiting for so long. I'm waiting. Waiting.